in the land of sun and sea, where the warmth always be. There's a secret recipe, so precious and so sweet. Cornmeal pudding, oh so fine. It's a treasure of the island, but I got the wicked plan. Gonna make it all mine. Stealing secrets in the night, dancing to the reggae vibes, creeping through the kitchen, moving like a whisper, whisking up the spices, adding little surprises. Gonna make this pudding.
Once there lived a woman named Rose in a village in St. Anne. She was renowned for her exceptional culinary skills, particularly in making cornmeal pudding, a recipe passed down from generations. The recipe was a treasure inherited from her mother, which she had received from her grandmother. The resilient woman had lived through challenging times following the abolition of slavery in Jamaica. This recipe was unique. It symbolized her family's history of resilience and, of course, heritage. This recipe was cherished and was never shared with outsiders. Let me say that Rose's cornmeal pudding was just not food. It was a piece of history, a reminder of the struggles and triumphs of her ancestors. The entire village loved her cornmeal pudding, and many sought to uncover the secrets behind this wonderful taste. One big baker in Kingston offered Rose money for her recipe a few years ago, but she did not sell it. In her heart, she knew that she could not sell what she had inherited over from her generations. However, Rosa guarded this recipe with her life, ensuring it remained a family heirloom. Among these set of villagers, there was, of course, Miss Matty. She coveted the recipe that Rose had. She was a neighbor known for her cunning ways and, of course, persistence. One neighbor said that Miss Matty could thief milk out of coffee. One day she approached Rose with a seemingly innocent request. "Rose, I'd love to come over and help you with the cornmeal pudding. It's always so delicious and delightful," she said with a slight smile. Rose, aware of Miss Matty's ulterior motives, tried to evade her. "Oh, I'm going off to the market now, Matty. But some other time," she replied, hoping the conversation to end. However, Matty was not one to give up. She kept her watchful eyes on, of course, Rose's house. And of course, she realized Rose was back. So she went over to Rose's home and knocked on the door, and as Rose opened up, she slipped in and realized that Rose was making her pudding. Let me tell you this. Miss Matty managed to enter Rose's kitchen with a concocted story about needing sugar. Inside, on the kitchen counter, Rose had her ingredients all laid out, including the old flour-dusted recipe card. Sensing Matty's piercing eyes, of course, investigating everything, Rose knew she had to act quickly. So she concocted a story. She sent Matty outside to get a few coconuts in the outside kitchen. And of course, as Matty left, Rose made a critical decision. She altered the recipe, adding an unexpected ingredient: bitters. I don't know if you know that one. When Matty returned, Rosa continued her preparation, deliberately misleading her about the ingredients. Unbeknownst to Matty, she was memorizing a false recipe. After a while, Matty left thinking she had outsmarted Rose. She was singing going back to her home. She stopped at the corner shop and she bought some ingredients. She was now ready for her own success. Matty decided to make her own batch of cornmeal puddings. She followed the recipe to a T, ensuring that every measurement was carried out perfectly. She checked once, twice, and thrice to ensure that everything was all right. And the final touch that she gave it was when she added bitters. Convinced she had made the perfect pudding, cornmeal pudding that is. She decided she had no need to try it. After all, this recipe had come from Rose, the queen of course, cornmeal pudding. Eager to showcase her baking talents, she cut her pudding up nicely and packaged them and started sharing them with the villagers, hoping to rival Rose's reputation. And the plan backfired. The bitters, if you didn't know, was meant for medical purposes. Many Jamaicans take bitters. It was unpleasant in the mouth if you were having it with pudding. The villagers, expecting the familiar comforting taste of a rich cornmeal pudding, were taken back by a bizarre taste of Miss Mattie's version. Word quickly spread and laughter echoed through the village as everyone realized what had happened. Miss Mattie's attempt to steal the cherished recipe had become a comical disaster. Rose, on the other hand, was celebrated not for her culinary prowess, but also for her cleverness in protecting her family's legacy. The incident became a legendary tale in the village, a story of wit, heritage, and the importance of respecting traditions. Rose's cornmeal pudding remains a beloved and respected delicacy, a testament of the enduring spirit of her family and the rich cultural tapestry of Jamaica. Her daughter continues to make some of the best cornmeal puddings on the north coast in Jamaica, where people gather around to taste this wonderful delight. So if you have a wonderful cornmeal pudding recipe and you want to share, and it's not a family tradition, share it right here in the comment section. That's all for now. I love cornmeal pudding.
In the land of sun and sea, where the warmth always be, there's a secret recipe so precious and so sweet. Cornmeal pudding, oh so fine, it's a treasure of the island. But I got a wicked plan, gonna make it all mine. Stealing secrets in the night, dancing to the reggae vibes, creeping through the kitchen, moving like a whisper, whisking up the spices, adding little surprises. Gonna make this pudding the best they ever tasted. Gonna take that pudding recipe, steal it from the island breeze, mix it up, make it mine in my kitchen. It will shine. Gonna savor every bite when I taste that stolen delight. Stealing the pudding recipe, my heart is filling with